Hey y'all, welcome to the Gone Outdoors podcast. Thanks for joining us. This is the place where we talk about all things hunting and fishing. As we like to say, if it's going on out there, then we're talking about it right here. So let's get after it with the latest episode.
Welcome back to the Gone Outdoors podcast. A great time of the year to be sitting here talking deer hunting. It's the end of October, and I have got Dylan Kirkley from Covington on the phone with me. And Dylan, I'm envious, I'm jealous of you, man. You have shot a monster. You with me, Dylan?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Man, what in the world, man? I got a text yesterday morning from a buddy of yours with pictures of this deer. And the deer's just laying down in the cooler, and it's like it's a photograph from behind. And the immediate thing that jumped off in my mind are, man, those are some seriously long tines right there, you know? And I'm like, man, that is a nice deer. So you killed this thing in Newton County, didn't you?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, gotcha. So, man, the question I always ask, you know, this day in deer hunting is so different than 20 years ago when I was growing up with cameras and everything else. Did you know this deer was in town or what?
Yes, sir. We had a pretty good idea. This is probably the second year we had him on camera.
Right.
And, you know, we just kind of laid low and watched him and anyway, he started showing back up, and I guess it was about July, and then he just disappeared for about 2 months. We didn't see him. Didn't know what happened. And just out of the blue one day, camera registered, and there he was. So we struck up a plan to figure out how we was going to go about it, and anyway, we got him coming in pretty regular, and we just set about going after him.
Did you, so you first had him last year, 2018, you knew this deer was on your property. And then in 2019, you said he showed up again in July in Velvet, but then disappeared for 2 months. So
yes.
when did he show back up on camera? Probably right there close to bow season, didn't he?
It was just a couple of weeks. Matter of fact, I believe it was the week before dove season is when he showed back up, I think. So it was right there at the end of August, beginning of September, if I remember right, when he decided to show back up.
Man, I bet you were nervous too, because deer that time of year, I mean, they're generally very patternable. So when you're thinking,
yeah, exactly, you know, and I've never really done a whole lot of big deer hunting, you might say. You know, I've always hunted and stuff like that, so I didn't really know how to approach the deer as far as, you know, I didn't want to spook them, I didn't want to do this, I want to do that, you know. It just kind of went by the seat of our pants to figure it out. But
sure.
That's what everybody was saying, you know, like, well, why is he gone? You know, friends of mine, you know, they've been hunting, you know, a lot longer than I have, and, you know, I didn't have any answer for them, but luckily he showed back up.
Do y'all, you and those you hunt with, do y'all bow hunt at all, or?
Yes, sir, we do, and we went bow hunting for him a few times, and it was one of them things, you know, you go and you sit long and hot, and, you know, you get down out of the stand, and, you know, 20, 30 minutes later he was on the camera, and you know, it'd be dark, you know, he was just messing with us pretty much.
Oh yeah, that's painful, man.
Yeah.
So did anybody actually see him in bow season from the stand, or at any time I'm driving in and out?
Yeah, a friend of mine said he saw him early one morning. I believe it was even the opening weekend of bow season. He said he saw him come in, and like I said, it was too dark to do anything with him, but, you know, he could tell what it was and all. But that other than that, during bow season, you know, we saw him 2 more times out of a stand during rifle season, and couldn't ever really, you know, get a decent shot on them, and we didn't want to take a chance on anything, so we just waited it out. You know, I had a friend of mine, he hunted with me every time we went, you know, because where we're at, it's a lot to watch by yourself. But anyway, we saw him a couple times, and, you know, just had to let him walk, and that'll mess with you, because you're like, man, did I just give up the only shot I'm gonna have at him, you know? But
Yeah, but because, I mean, if you see a deer like that in the woods, and y'all gross this thing at like 183 inches. So this is, I mean, you can go to Kansas and that's the deer of a lifetime. You know what I mean? So,
Yes, sir.
like,
Yes, sir.
so it just wasn't a clear shot. And to not take the shot, that's impressive. I mean, that's, you know, we owe it to the deer to
That's right. To do it right.
make it, you know, I mean, things happen, bow hunting, gun hunting, but when we pull the trigger, we need to make sure that, hey,
That's right.
I'm extremely confident that I'm going to kill this animal. So, so good for y'all for doing that. And obviously this paid off. So you saw him a couple times in rifle season and then tell me about October the 27th did you kill this deer in the morning or the evening?
It was in the evening. Yes, sir.
Okay. So what were you set up over and what time did you get in the stand and all that good stuff?
Well, it's an old bean field is what it was. You know, it's been a few years since it's been planted, but we were down in kind of a bottomland area that, you know, had since grown up, and we were sitting in like a tower stand, you know, like a quad pod style stand, and a friend of mine was with me. Like I said, he's been with me. You know, we've been together every time this year going after this deer. You know, like I said, it's the area is kind of big and woolly, and it's one of them things. If you're not looking in the right spot, you're liable not to ever see him. I mean, he could come out and in 3 seconds turn and go a different direction and he's gone. So we kind of, you know, a few times we went separate and, you know, saw deer and seen how it was going to be. We just, you know, decided it's just going to be better, you know, to have 4 eyes down there instead of 2.
I'm with you.
So, you know, we was together sitting in there, and I guess it might have been around 6:30. There was a group of does off to our right over there that come out of a big oak hill, and I was looking around to the left, and he was sitting to the right of me. He was watching the does just, you know, milling around, and he tapped me on the leg and said, I said, you know, he's like, I see some horns coming out of that bottom down there, and here he come, and we finally got the glasses. I got my glasses on him to look, and it was him, you know, and really didn't know what to do. It was a long shot. We waited until we got a little better opportunity. He came up and bumped them a few does, and once they ran off, you know, he just milled around eating some acorns right there in the edge of the field. And, he's a quarter away from us. And I said, no, he just ain't gonna do it right now. And we waited a few more seconds, and he turned broadside and looked at us, you know, and gave us a good opportunity, and we took it. Good
deal. Standing broadside. So what do you shoot? What kind of rifle are you shooting?
I'm shooting a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Man, I've heard more and more people going to that 6.5 Creedmoor this year, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I grew up with, you know, big calibers in mine. I started out shooting 300 Win Mag, and then went back to a 30-06, and just slowly have moved my way back to a smaller caliber, and just figured out that you don't need all that, you know, big gun behind you to get the job done.
Send a chunk of lead through his lungs, he's going to die, right?
That's right. It's going to get him.
What's going through your mind? You and your buddy get down there and actually get your hands on those antlers.
We get within 100 yards of him, and you know, his horns are sticking up out of the grass, and I'm like, my goodness, he's a lot wider. You know, it's hard to tell on trail cam. You can do a lot of measuring, and you know, I've had people look at them, friends of mine, and, you know, they guess and this and that, but once you get down and roll them over and hold them up, it's a different ball game there. But yeah, we knew we had something pretty special there.
No ground shrinkage on this deer.
No. He got bigger.
That's right. That's exactly right.
He got bigger the closer we got. Yeah.
Yeah. You hear that a lot, man. I thought he was bigger, but
bigger. No, and we was worried about that. I was like, we're gonna shoot this deer, and he's not gonna be what we think he is, and he probably should have. We should have probably left him alone another year, but fortunately, you know, we did our homework on the pictures, and by judging, you know, from what we saw, we knew he was going to be a shooter if we ever got a chance.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I alluded to earlier, he is a shooter in Kansas, Iowa, Illinois, wherever you want to go, man. So,
yes, sir.
So he is actually, I was looking at the pictures, he's a 5x7. He's got 5 clean tines on the right, and then he's got 7 mainframe tines on the left, and then he's got a bunch of junk in there too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got some weird, it's almost a separate third beam that's almost growing straight out of front of his head. I mean, it's not connected to to the other two that we could tell. But yeah, he's got those and some kickers here and there. I mean, he's a good looking deer, and that was, in my mind, this is only the second buck I've ever taken, and both of them has been off this property, and in my mind, I wanted something with a kicker or a drop time. That's just what I was after, and I ended up, getting what I wanted there just by waiting. I mean, I've let a bunch of deer go over the years, just watched them, and you see something you want, that's when you can go after it.
Absolutely. Well, you did it too. So y'all grossed him just all total bone. He's 183 Boone and Crockett inches. That's what it sounds like.
Yes, sir. Just a gross score. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So, and we'll have to wait, of course, the required 60 days before we can get a net score on them and put them in our county by county rankings for Newton County. But how many total points did he have?
I believe we counted him up at 17.
17 points. Good gracious. Now, he's beautiful. He's tall. He's got the unique characteristics. He's just got everything. So, deer of a lifetime. Any idea how old that deer is?
We've said, 4.5, maybe 5. There's been some other people look at him and said he's way older, but I'm gonna try to get him aged, and just see exactly what he is. From what I've seen on old deer, the way they look, short nose, pot belly, he's younger than what you would think with the rack he's got.
Right. Well, good. No matter what, doesn't matter how old or young.
That's right.
He's a beautiful deer. So,
yes, sir.
Well, that's good, man. So everything else going good in Newton County? Y'all got plenty of deer over there?
Seems to be. They're starting to move pretty good now. Here in the last week or so. But yeah, they're plentiful around here.
Well, that's good. We're finally, I guess it's been a week or two ago, we got that good. Well, that was opening weekend of rifle season when it was. We finally had some rain come through, and that was good.
Yes, sir. It was rough, but I'm glad we're finally getting some now.
Yeah. Well, from a hunting mindset, it's sure got hunters back in the woods. It was just dry and miserable and hot.
Yes, sir. Nobody wanted to go and do anything.
Right. Nobody planning food plots and all this, but now I'm looking at the forecast for this weekend, first weekend in November, and man, they're talking like high of 60 up here in middle Georgia, which is, that's not super cold or anything, but I tell you what, that sure is nice. It's a game changer. So I suspect there's going to be some deer hitting the ground. But Dylan, man, congratulations on your deer. Y'all went out, y'all drug that thing out in the field yesterday and got some really good photos, and of course it'll be on our website, and man, we love showing it off, and you just make sure you get us a copy of that score sheet.
We'll do it.
All right, buddy. Dylan, thank you so much, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.